It's been about 4 years since we set out on this crazy journey, undertaking this huge project, and we have now finally reached the last and final episode of the World War II bunker building project. Many of you have followed this build from the very beginning, but if you are new to the series, we are constructing a German log bunker from the Second World War based on original building plans. That's right, it's the oven for the second floor oven number 2. It's been a long but educational journey, exploring history and learning to appreciate firsthand the hard effort and level of craftsmanship that went into these types of fortifications. An experience and knowledge one can only truly fully understand by actually experiencing such a build firsthand. Although we have used many modern tools along the way and also worked in favorable conditions, we have gained valuable knowledge, experience, and last but not least, an insight into the practical aspect of World War II history as a historical reenactment and living history group that any average historian could ever only dream about. We are also extremely grateful for the landowner letting us make this project a reality. So I would just like to take a brief moment to thank my Patreons who support the channel and help make these videos possible for you all to enjoy. Thank you. In the previous episode, we carried an 80-kilogram cast iron wood-burning stove up to the bunker, only to find a better one a few days later. The previous stove was a modern version of an old design and would have done the job. But when I found this old Norwegian 1940 model stove at an old antique store for the bargain price of about 80 euros, I could not resist.
Det blir drittungt liksom, jeg vet ikke om det ruster gjengene eller hva det er for noe. Det var ingenting, det var veldig løst oppi det.
This, of course, meant that we would have to carry this one up and the other one down again. So that was fun. It had a bit of surface rust and we had some issues with the old screws, but in the end, we finally got it put together. I then carried the stove inside and we got it into position with the smokestack and made the cutout in the wall for the next section of smokestack to pass through.
Amazing.
We immediately got a fire going, not only to test out the setup, but also to try out the bunker inside. And we were delighted to see that the stove and the smokestack worked perfectly without issues. I continued where we left off last time, laying down asphalt shingles on the roof, while Robin milled some more slabs for the beds and other furniture with the chainsaw. Laying down these roof shingles is slow and tedious work. And don't worry, as I mentioned in the previous episode, this roof will be covered and the shingles will be hidden under other layers of different materials in the end. We just got these shingles very, very cheap, and that's why we chose to use them. Good night.
Good morning. It's the first night in the bunker. Last night it was -1 degrees Celsius when we went to bed. And we survived the night, didn't we?
We live another day.
At last, the roof was finally shingled and for all intents and purposes, finally finished. Our first living history event in the bunker is planned less than a week from now, and we were running out of time. There was still a lot to get done.
Totalt. Med toppen liksom?
Ja, med toppen, ja. Så da kan jeg ta av litt her. Så tenkte jeg kan legge på den her da, for den er nesten 20 liksom. Og så lager jeg den her.
Ja.
I finally got the last piece for the machine gun port in place. The slab we poured for the wood stove was still curing. While Robin was working on a special hood for the smokestack.
Sånn, så gjør jeg noe på der, på et vis.
We continued to work into the night, and I made some finishing touches to the machine gun port.
Ja, vi skal fylle det her så mye altså.
I used some moss to insulate the gaps before putting up some simple molding around the window. Sometime after midnight, we started working on the insulated trapdoor for the machine gun port. We made a frame, boarded up one side and used moss as insulation, then boarded up the other side. We hung the trapdoor from the top with a pair of hinges and attached them with some large old brass flathead screws using a chainsaw wrench, which was definitely not the right tool for the job. Write that down. The next morning, all the parts from the smokestack had dried and we could apply the seals and put it all together.
Dichtung.
The Soviet helmet was sitting nicely on top of the smokestack, a beautiful sight. But there was a horrible smell as the liner slowly smoldered and eventually burned away. Our new heat shield on the wall to the left and the new concrete slab worked out great. With all that out of the way, we could finally get to work on some of the furniture. We built 2 benches and a table based on the original drawings, and I think they turned out pretty good.
5 år, så det blir litt sånn.
Man skal jo egentlig bare begynne litt da.
Du må det.
Tror du det? Ja. Det er jo den her siden som blir ut da. Kan nesten sette i sånne små spiker her etter hvert da. Det kjennes sånn. Jeg tror det var en god idé med en sånn der lås ned der sånn.
So I really hope that you enjoyed this last and final episode of the bunker building series, and if you did, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any other World War II related content. I would also encourage you to check out the entire bunker building series. You can find a link to the playlist down in the video description below. Also stay tuned for the Living History event film from our first event in the bunker coming up shortly. If you enjoy my videos and want to support the channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon and help the channel grow and keep the content coming. There's a link to my Patreon down in the video description below. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, auf Wiedersehen.